It's History's Pitchman, 80s of Cool, and today we are going on the top 10 historic sites in my hometown of Hobart, Indiana. Who says you have to go to Rome or London to make a history video? We've got the action right here in Hobart, Indiana. Whether you're a local visitor or flying in from the coast, this is your indispensable guide to my hometown of Hobart. Now, if you like these videos, go ahead and hit that YouTube subscribe button, and now, let's go to work. All right, folks, and let's get started with one of the big ones. Where are all of our World War I history buffs for number 10 on our list? This is E.M. Viscasny's brilliant bronze sculpture, the spirit of the American doughboy, honoring the World War I fallen folks. Now, this legendary sculpture is actually one of 11 around the state of Indiana. I've seen the one in Greencastle. I've seen the one in Spencer. It's about 75 different pieces, weighs about 200 pounds, and it's thought that the artist actually mimicked the pose of the doughboy after the Statue of Liberty. And remember, folks, this statue was first dedicated in 1925 during the Coolidge administration. There were two mounted horsemen, representatives of American Legion Post 54, along with 1,000 school children here for the dedication and what was regarded as the largest gathering of the town of Hobart. Hobart was a town back then, up until that point. That's why you should come down here, you should doff your cap, and you should salute number 10 on our list, E.M. Viscasny's brilliant sculpture, the spirit of the American doughboy. Coming in at number 9 on our list is the REVELLI band shell in downtown Hobart, named after famed band leader William Revelli, who invented the marching band during high school football games. That's right. When you see the Rolling Stones at the Super Bowl at halftime, when you see all that great entertainment, it's because William Revelli started it right here in Hobart, Indiana. During Revelli's tenure here in Hobart, the high school won 6 national championships and even played at the World's Fair. On Thursday nights during the summer, they've got some rockin' bands. Right here at number 9 on our list, the REVELLI band shell. And if you're into 19th century environmental engineering, you'll want to check out number 8 on our list, the Lake George Dam, right in the center of Hobart, Indiana. Now, in 1846, folks, an itinerant minister named George Earle came to this land right here, dammed up a river. That's right, dammed up a river, created a lake, and built the grist mill that was here until 1953 when it burned, and then the Gator Bank is over here. It's called whatever bank now, but there's a lot going on here down at the dam. Very vibrant area. In fact, there's a fisherman. Let's go see how he's doing. Hey, how you doing? How's the fishing here today at the dam?
Not good, no.
Yeah, you ever caught like a 20-pounder or anything like that?
No. That's a nice one there.
Are you gonna eat that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, look at that.
That's a crappie. That's good. I need 2 more. The French fries is oh man.
And if you're a fan of local legend and urban lore, you'll want to take a look at number 7 on our list, the River Point Country Club. Long rumored to have been a mob mecca and a weekend retreat for none other than Scarface himself, notorious Windy City mobster Al Capone. Let me go ahead and set the stage for you, folks. It was Depression era right here in Hobart, Indiana. A man named Michael Caruso came to Hobart and bought this 900 acres that you see right behind me, and he paid 145 $1,000 bills in cash for this property. If you're from Hobart, Indiana, you've probably heard this legend and lore. Was Al Capone even here at all? Did he use that straw buyer to turn this into his weekend getaway? Well, by 1972, United States Steel bought this land and turned it into a golf course and a country club for their executives. Hey, if you're into the myth, if you're into the story, you gotta come down here and check out number 7 on our list, the River Point Country Club, right here in Hobart, Indiana. And that's right, folks. Number 6 on our list in downtown Hobart is the historic Art Theater right behind me. Now, let me go ahead and give you a little history. It was 1870. It was the Gilded Age. On this land stood a building called the Hobart House. The Hobart House was kind of a roadhouse, a bar room, a restaurant, that kind of thing. And then in 1941, a man named Ignatius Persecki knocked it down and built the theater that we see here today. Opening night 1941, the movie was, that's right, One Night in Lisbon starring Fred McMurray. A few months after that night, the newsreels right here would show the footage from Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. The newsreels right here showing the carnage at Pearl Harbor. These days, they've got tremendous rock and roll shows, among other things, here at the Art Theater. My buddy Shane Evans and Anthony Balpitta bring some tremendous acts right here to downtown Hobart. Number 6 on our list, it should have been higher, the Art Theater right here in downtown Hobart. And if you're a pioneer who's ready to tame the rugged wilderness, you'll want to spend an entire afternoon here at number 5 on our list, the John Woods Gristmill. In 1835, a Massachusetts native named John Wood headed down the Great Lakes and landed right here in the wilderness. Indiana was a mere 19 years old and inhabited by who? Mainly the Potawatomi Indians. John Wood bought this land right here from the Potawatomis for $1,000. That's right, fair and square. John Wood built this gristmill, and the sawmill along the Deep River became the first industry in Lake and Porter County. John Wood's mill was among the finest of the land, folks. It could mill up to 12 bushels an hour. What you see here right now is a great representation of what his mill probably looked like. That's right, right here in Hobart, Indiana. So go ahead and put on your coonskin caps, folks, and get excited about number 5 on our list, Lake County's first industry, the John Wood Gristmill on the banks of the mighty Deep River. And for those of you who like to spend your time frolicking in the outdoors, you're gonna wanna come down to Fred Rose Park on 8th Street right here in Hobart. Now, Fred Rose Park was named after Fred Rose, who was a 4-term mayor non-consecutively in the World War II years as well as in the 50s. His dad was actually the first fire chief of Hobart, and many people will remember the 1970s when the Army Corps of Engineers built that great suspension bridge right across the waterway over there. Let's see if we can pull up a picture of the suspension bridge. Ah, there you go. And guess what? There's a couple villagers across the street over here. Let's see what they have to say about the park. What's your name, please?
Aaron Kudemeyer.
Oh, Aaron. You live right across the street from historic Fred Rose Park here in Hobart? Yeah?
Sure do.
How's the park? Do you enjoy it quite a bit?
I do, yeah.
Do you ever?
Very nice.
Do the kids over get rowdy at night sometimes on Fridays, like after the football games and that kind of thing?
Sometimes. Not too bad, though.
Little bit of hooliganism at Fred Rose Park? Well, you know, you're
There's
going to have
more
that.
at City Ballpark down the road than there.
Oh, I've heard that. All right, thanks, Aaron. And all of you Civil War buffs are going to want to let out a rebel yell for number 3 on our list on Route 51, just north of the hospital, the Old Settlers Cemetery, right here in Hobart. Now get a load of this. There's 4 Civil War veterans buried right here, including the Crothers brothers. Now, during my crack research, I looked into it and I couldn't find the war records of the Crothers brothers, but they may well have been part of Colonel John Wheeler's Indiana regiment that fought at Gettysburg. That's right. Right here in Hobart, right on Route 51, we have 4 Civil War veterans buried right here, and they fought the night they drove old Dixie down. Hey, this is History's Pitchman doffing his cap right now in Hobart, Indiana for our 4 Civil War veterans right here at the Old Settlers Cemetery. And everybody will want to hop aboard for number 2 on our list, the Hobart PENNSY train depot right here off Indiana and Lillian and downtown Hobart. Let me go ahead and set the stage for you, folks. The year was 58, 1858. A railroad came through Hobart that connected Fort Wayne to Chicago, right here through Hobart. In the 1880s, folks, the EJ&E Railroad, along with the nickel plate, came to town. They built 2 railroad watchtowers. On the south side of town, it was the Hoe Tower. On the east side of town, it was the Bart Tower. The original station, the original PENNSY station burned in 1911, and this was built. This is like kind of a, I think it's American colonial revival style. You can tell by the gabled portico there, the half-moon windows, the soffits. Hey, I had taxpayer-funded art history at Indiana University. Hey, this architecture and this history is why the PENNSY Railroad Station is number 2 on our list. That's right, folks, and number 1 on our list, on our all-time list of History's Pitchman's historical sites in Hobart, Indiana, is the absolutely magnificent Brickie Bowl High School Football Stadium. Built in the late 30s by FDR's Public Works project. The first game of high school football to be played here was September 18th, 1939, just weeks after Hitler had marched into Poland and World War II had begun. Folks, this high school stadium consistently ranked as one of the best high school football stadiums in the country over the decades. Legendary Hall of Fame coach Hank Stram scored 2 touchdowns right here. He played for Wallace, but it happened here. In the 70s and the 80s, the Hobart Brickies won an unbelievable 71 straight home games right here on these hallowed grounds, including the Hobart Penn game in 1979, which most consider to be the greatest game of high school football ever played. My beloved Brickies prevailed, 27-20, hoorah! Today, the scoreboards and the loudspeakers have fallen silent. There's no longer high school football here. But these legendary grounds host community events. They do a great hometown jam in the summer. Hey, everybody on your feet for a great standing ovation. Number 1 on our list, the legendary Brickie Bowl in downtown Hobart. And there you have it, folks, the top 10 historic sites in Hobart, Indiana. You wanted the best, and you got the best. History's Pitchman style. And if you like what you just saw, go ahead and hit that YouTube subscribe button, and you keep on rocking.